this video, I will show you how you can create cinematic videos using an iPhone.
So take a step, open your eyes, and take it all in. You'll feel its heart beating.
So I recently went to Paris to shoot a travel film on the new iPhone 16 Pro. In this video I'll be breaking down how I shot and edited that video and managed to transform shots from this to this. And in the end of this video I will actually be giving away the exact LUT that I used to color grade this video. So I only had 1.5 days in Paris to shoot this video, so I had to make sure that every second was well spent. So the most important thing I did beforehand was picking a song and a theme for the video. I knew that the theme would be all about the fast-paced energy of Paris, so I chose a song on Artlist that matched that feeling. After choosing a song, I also generated a voiceover that matched the theme that I was going for. This was really helpful because I already knew beforehand what kind of shots I wanted to make and how many shots I would need to create an entire video. So there were a few key accessories I used while filming this video. The first one is the mobile video cage by SmallRig. This was a really helpful tool because it allowed me to get very stable shots in scenarios where I would usually need a gimbal. The side handle, which also allows you to insert a M2 external SSD. I didn't actually use this because I didn't think the file sizes were that big. I actually only shot 41 gigabytes of footage this entire shoot, which was fine for me to store internally on the iPhone. On top of that, the video cage also allowed me to stack a bunch of filters. The first filter I used was a Pro Mist filter. This filter really gives a nice soft glow to your highlights and removes some of that over-sharpened look that phone footage tends to have. On top of the mist filter, I stacked a variable ND filter, which allowed me to always maintain the 180-degree shutter angle. For this project, I shot everything inside of the Blackmagic camera app. The Blackmagic camera app offers a lot of manual controls, which is essential in getting the most out of your iPhone camera. I set my codec to HEVC. I chose Apple Lock HDR for my color space. I locked my shutter angle at 180 degrees. For my display LUT, I actually selected my own custom LUT, and I would always display it while shooting. To expose properly, I used the ND filter and checked the histogram to avoid clipping highlights. In darker scenarios, I would adjust my exposure using the ISO. Just don't put your ISO too high. I found that 400 was the maximum value I could put my ISO at before the footage became too noisy. I would shoot mostly in either 24 or 60 FPS. When I knew that I didn't want to slow down my footage, I would just stick to 24 FPS because I would have the most natural looking motion blur. But if I knew that I might want to slow the shot down, I would shoot in 60 FPS. My shooting style in this video was very dynamic. I tried to incorporate a lot of movement in all of my shots that would reflect the theme of the video. So in order to get shots like this, I would try to rotate the video rig while shooting. This made me look like an absolute idiot, but it did give me a lot of nice shots. My favorite lens to use while shooting this way was the widest 13mm lens. I really like this lens because it gave a very wide look that I would normally not even be able to get using my Sony camera. I would always try to complement 13mm shots with some more zoomed in shots on the 24, 40 or 120mm. Because I already picked a song beforehand, the editing process was much smoother. I was actually able to edit this video just within 1 day. The way I was able to do this is by going through my footage at 4x speed and moving the clips I like a layer upwards. For the first 25 seconds, I tried to match the voiceover with the scenes in the video. So for example, when the voiceover says, "Open your eyes," I would have a shot of my friend opening her eyes. Or the part about endless stories, I would show a shot of the library, so it matches the voiceover. I try to keep the edit engaging by adding dynamic and fast cuts, while also incorporating a lot of sound design. So sound design is crucial in making your video immersive and engaging.
You'll feel its heart beating.
As you can see here, I really go all out when sound designing. It's quite normal for me to add up to 10 layers of sound effects just for a few seconds of video. I try to add a lot of sound effects that I think of when I look at my footage. This could be very logical, like the sounds of a cyclist passing by or a metro passing by. But then I also add sound effects that are a bit more random. For example, when the traffic light switches from red to green,
You'll feel its heart beating.
I added a ring sound effect, which worked really well, I think. Another technique I use a lot is the use of whooshes, risers and hits. For example, in the first 5 seconds of the video, there isn't even any music. It's all sound effects. I started with a riser and a hit, followed by some city sound effects, and then another riser and a hit to smoothly transition into the first song. This was a really great way to grab attention right away and get the viewer engaged. And I also try to incorporate a lot of sounds that I record while shooting. For example, the shots where there's somebody playing an instrument, I'll actually use the sounds that I recorded when they were playing the instrument. This really makes you feel like you're actually there with them. One of the biggest advantages of shooting on an iPhone these days is being able to shoot in log. Shooting in log gives you way more flexibility when color grading your video in post. I actually used my own custom LUT when shooting this video. After applying my LUT, I tend to adjust things like white balance, exposure or hues to get a desired look. So you can actually download this exact LUT that I used for free in the description. All that I ask of you is that if you plan on using it, please leave a like on this video. I have a few techniques I use while color grading, and I will show you how I took this clip from this to this. So after applying my LUT, the image looked very bright, and I wanted to make it look like it was shot during the night. So I used a technique called shot matching to shot match this shot to a much darker shot of the Eiffel Tower I shot during the night. After doing this, the shot looked like it was shot during the night, which was already very nice, but I wanted to make it even better. So I added some vignetting and masking to make the central highway stand out even more. And then to finish off the look, I added some halation. Adding halation is a really nice way to give a little bit of extra color to your image. Overall, I really enjoyed shooting with the new iPhone 16. There are quite a few limitations, however, when shooting with an iPhone. The biggest limitation for me was not being able to get a nice looking depth in my image. Because of the small sensor of the iPhone, you're not able to get that nice looking background separation that you get with a proper camera. Even though I really enjoyed shooting with the new iPhone 16, it won't replace a camera for me yet. I hope you enjoyed this video and was able to learn something from it. If you have any more questions, you can send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment and I will be happy to help you out. I want to try to get more active on YouTube the next months, so make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.